Get in there, old man.
I ain't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. Don't start. No starting.
There's always the start. You know, there's the clap, and then there's the little stuff.
The little. Hey.
Good morning.
What's up?
We're back.
Again. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, let's jump in right off the bat.
Don't we
right
always?
Off the bat, yes. We'll talk about this guy, the elephant in the room.
Oh.
This is the first women podcast episode we've done since Alabama postponed some places the rest of the tour, and just wanted to touch base on it and ask for your prayers for Randy.
Sure.
Hopefully he's getting the treatment that he needs. It's a bad deal.
Yeah.
That vertigo and migraines.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that.
I'm surprised at people that have been touched by it because it's. All the responses, hey, I've had this, that you see on the social media, and it's just debilitating. So, it's got to be hell.
Well, you know what it's like to have a really bad headache.
Oh, yeah.
And then amplify that by about 100 times, right?
Mm-hmm. And then throw dizziness on top of it.
Awful.
Sounds like a Friday night for you. We try to keep it light.
Yeah, at my expense.
The happy hooch. No, but just prayers for Randy and for all the employees that are out of a job for a while.
Everybody needs a guitar player.
Yeah. Picker available. Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the people that haven't seen this tour because it was special. I mean, the shows were just fantastic. The band was just rocking. Randy was on fire. Teddy was excellent. It was just we were having a great time too. It was a lot of fun. So be cool to pick it up again, hopefully. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll pray on that one.
We just keep praying. Power of prayer.
Yep.
Now, the second elephant in the room.
There's two?
Sean Mitchell from The Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Butthead. Used to be friend. He's just ridiculing the Squatch Report.
Huh?
I mean, he's ridiculing the... Yes, he is. The beloved Squatch Report.
He has that right.
Yeah, he does, but...
I loved his rebuttal video.
But,
it was
well,
awesome.
Speaking of that, it was the video that he put together to rebut our one with pretty good proof on that we were supposed to do. Let me set this up a little bit in case you haven't seen it. Several years ago, 2000, I don't remember, but Jody Harris, who's also a friend and foot and second guest on our pod show.
Yes.
But, we were way back up in the mountains of Northern California. I mean, 30 miles up a logging road, and then another, I don't know how many miles on foot. Probably not miles since we were on foot, maybe 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, what it felt like.
But deep into the wilderness up there. You got to check out the video. It's on our YouTube channel, and we got video footage of footprints out in the middle of nowhere.
Actual
Footage. But and then so because Sean tasked us with rebutting him, with proving its existence. Mm-hmm. So because our word just isn't good enough. You would think we would have built some kind of credibility with the guy. We lie the least, Monty.
Yep.
And why would anybody make up stories about that when they're going to face ridicule?
There's this huge imprint of a foot miles into the wilderness of and yeah.
So
that's okay. It's just a print. There's not visual proof of the actual.
Right. We did not have cameras with us when we seen them, but that was what we have for right now. But we will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. But he did a video. It's hilarious.
That was great.
Funny. Well, yeah, we'll just show you a little bit the edited version right now.
"911, what's your emergency?"
Yes, I'm very concerned. I was on my way to the bathroom, and I was looking outside, and there's something, I don't know, there's something big and hairy, and I don't know, just send somebody quick.
Can you describe the assailant to me?
Yes, I think it might be Bigfoot.
What would make you think that it's Bigfoot?
Well, on Tuesdays, I always watch the Cache Creek Club on YouTube, and Kimo Forrest and Monty DeVita, they really believe in Bigfoot. They have this thing called the Squatch Report, and I watch it, and the more I watch, the more I believe, and I have to believe that this is Bigfoot in my backyard. Now hurry, send someone quick.
Okay, ma'am, I have 2 units that are on the way right now, but I would think that it's probably not Bigfoot because everyone knows that Bigfoot isn't real and definitely does not exist.
Listen, Mr. Smarty Pants, I don't know or I don't care what you think. What I do know is there is a large, hairy creature in my backyard rooting around in my trash can, and here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, wait a minute. What? It's RT Johnson, is that you?
Yeah, that daggone some bitch that's it. Got on took my trash, take the trash out, and all that too late. I didn't get done.
Damn it, RT! I told you to stop taking the trash out in the middle of the night with your shirt off. What were you thinking?
Well, now, hold on, baby. Now, damn, you told me to take trash out, and I just did about getting out. I just thinking up, and there's flies, and I had to go. I just thought about it right at the last minute. I'm sorry, baby. Love you, damn.
Oh my God.
Funny stuff. But he did nothing to even address that we even did a video. There was no point-by-point rebuttal, which is usually how these things go, you know? We lay down, we say,
he's
is
a rookie at it.
We say, this is our evidence. He comes back and shoots holes in our theory, right?
Yep.
Nothing.
Well,
Crickets. I don't think he
but it was
cared.
entertaining.
It was fun.
I loved it.
Hilarious, man. Yeah. And the RT impression was...
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was dang funny.
It was very enjoyable.
Man.
I really liked it. Good job, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Funny, but
you just keep trying to smack us down.
yeah. That's not a rebuttal,
okay.
though, Sean. It's entertainment. It's very funny, but I want to see a point-by-point rebuttal to our video. That's what I want to see.
Disprove.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, you know what you forgot to do? Oh, okay. Just in time.
Hi.
Who's on the show today, Monty?
Oh, man, we got Chip Davis.
Chip Davis,
man.
That's right. Raymond Chip Davis Jr.
Is that right?
Yeah. You can call him Ray.
Can I call him Junior?
You can't call him Junior. I was hoping that, his brother's name is Billy Davis. And he was Billy Davis Jr. Like, remember Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. from the Fifth Dimension? I know you remember.
Of course I do. I remember everything.
Chip's here today.
Steel trap. Man like an elephant. Nothing gets away from me. What were we talking about?
Yeah. I was like, I remember everything. I have a mind like a metal thing that catches bears.
Right.
Those are my favorite jokes.
I can't even remember yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going fast.
It is. Days are just rolling by. Chip Davis. Right after this. Woohoo!
You're my one temptation, the one I can't refuse. My one and only weakness is you. If you ever tell me that I have to give you up, it's just gonna kill me, 'cause I can't live without your love.
Hey!
We're
Chip
here.
Davis! Yes! Chip Davis is here. We are so excited to have you, Chipper.
I'm excited to be here.
Man, it's. I feel like it's been months since I've seen you.
I know it. Well, it has. When was our last show? Was Rogers, Arkansas. That was a
Rogers,
long time
Arkansas,
ago.
and we didn't even know it at the time.
No, in fact, my friend, one of the friends that came to the show, Arkin Terrell, the
Arkin, yeah.
Christian guy
Yeah.
produced. He called Christian artists. He is a Christian, but I wanted to specify just not a Christian guy.
Right.
He's a really, really good artist. But
Amazing
he
singer.
called it, check on me, and I was like, well, you actually may have made history because you may have seen.
You just might have.
Hopefully not,
Yeah,
but
no.
I mean, you just never.
pray
And
for
Teddy, it's so
healing.
weird because Teddy and I were talking about life on that last run out, and he was just like, because I was talking about the hand thing and was
Right.
devastated, and he was like, brother man, count your blessings. You still got your voice,
That's
and
right.
you still. There's always somebody worse off, and you know what? That's the best way to live because
You have to.
otherwise it would be unbearable.
No, because and the negativity for whatever
it
it increases
it feeds the
exponentially.
demise. Yes,
Right, absolutely. So you got to grab onto it. Chip, I'm going to tell these people who you are.
Okay.
You guys just wait. I mean,
This
songwriter.
is gonna take a
Yeah. Songwriter, vocalist, producer, musician. It just goes on. It's disgusting. He went back for seconds and thirds when they were handing out the talent. It ain't right. So let's just talk about your country cuts. The number one song that made Chris Cagle relevant again. What Kind of Gone?
Yes.
Great song.
And not the one that I would have ever thought would be that
Yeah.
big of a song, you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So it was a very pleasant surprise.
Title cut for Alabama's Southern Drawl album.
Yes.
His version is actually better too.
And quite different.
And then Kenny Rogers, Joe Diffie, Lee Greenwood, Reba McEntire have all cut your songs.
Michael English.
Well, that's coming up. This is a long
this is the
list.
country, okay.
That's just the country. So now we're going to get into the Christian part here, the gospel stuff. Mark Lowry, Michael English,
Crazy Mark Lowry.
Martins, Gordon Mote. That's all I've got for that. As far
Mike
as
Bowling.
Okay.
Bowling family. The Freemans.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
I can't. Yeah. The gospel thing is
yeah.
It's its own separate sort
It's
of.
an embarrassment of riches. And then you have sang backgrounds like Jason Crabb.
Yes.
You can stop there, man. I love
Yeah,
Jason.
I love that. I actually sent Jason a note because when Jay finished it and sent it to me, and it was like I was on the bus one night and I hadn't remembered because I did that. It was like. It all goes so fast when you're on the road. I was like, what did I even do? But when I was listening to Bunk, and it was like, it was the song that he did, the duet with Gary that he did, that Jason's father wrote. I can't think of the title, but it just was like, I had chills, laying. It's such a great album,
Right.
I was proud. I sent Jay a note and said that was my favorite thing I did this year.
Very cool.
Was the
Very
Jason
cool.
Crabb album.
Oh yeah, Jay DeMarcus produced it, correct?
yes.
Yeah, from Rascal Flats. Lori Morgan, Pam Tillis, Gaithers, Alabama, Kenny Rogers, Josh Turner, Lee Bryce. You hear all those vocals
Yes.
on Love Like Crazy, those big long notes, right?
Yes.
That's you. That's him. That's him. Where am I? Ty Herndon. Oh man, I miss Ty's music.
I do too.
What a great singer. Michael English, Lynn Anderson, Billy Currington. Must be doing something
Yes.
right. That's all you
was
on that
me.
too.
9 tracks.
9 tracks.
9 tracks of
Ooh,
Chip.
Chip Davis. Wow, that's scary.
No, it was the other song that is so interesting that people know that I sang on was "Don't Make Me" by Blake Shelton.
Oh,
that was the same deal. But Billy Currington cut "Don't Make Me" first, and it didn't make the album. So I sang on the original demo when Deanna Bryant and Dave Berg and Marla Cannon Goodman wrote it.
Okay.
And so I sang on the original demo, and then I sang on Billy's version of it, and then it didn't make Billy's album, and then I sang on
every time you walk into the session,
Blake Shelton's
what is
version.
it? Why do I keep getting this song?
and it was before it had blown. It was just coming up the charts, and I was at this round at the Bluebird, and Marla was saying, she's like, "Well, this is a song that it's actually our new Blake Shelton single." She's like, "But the only person in the room that's actually made any money on the song so far is Chip Davis because he sang on multiple versions of it."
That's right. So
But it was so cool.
Which one was your favorite version out of all of them that you sang on?
Billy's was good, but Blake, it was a magic. That was a magic.
Yeah.
Just a magic record. You know, like I think Doing Something Right was one. I mean, I knew when I was singing on it, and then the other thing, a cool thing about that album.
Jason Matthews wrote that
Yes.
song. Yeah.
And Marty Dodson.
Oh, I didn't know Marty was on
Yeah,
that. Oh,
Marty
very
and Jason.
Cool.
Yeah. Boy, that changed things. The first song that I actually sang a demo for when I first met Marty was when Kim Williams had signed Marty Dodson, and they did. They wrote, we would go up to Kim's cabin, whoever, and stay like a couple of days. It was so awesome. I miss him so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote "While You Love Me," the Rascal Flatts thing.
Okay.
It was on that session. There was 5 songs, and the song that I thought would be a huge hit was called "South of Yesterday," and then the hook was like "East of something and South of Yesterday," and I thought this was going to be a smash.
I like that.
And "While You Love Me" was, I thought it was a cool song, but anyway, that one ended up becoming like the first. Was either the first or second Rascal Flatts top 5, and so
Very cool.
Anyway,
When we were first coming to town to showcase for Arista, you want to get some Nashville songs in your stuff because
Yes.
you think you're writing hits out there, but then you start doing Nashville stuff. And we
Yeah,
had a
you
song
can-
called "Rockin' the Road." Remember that? And Kim was a writer on that song. That was our first exposure to him. And then you start going back and find out more about this dude. You're like, holy crap, man!
when I first
he almost has as many cuts as Chip Davis.
oh no, are you kidding? Dude, you know what? And I hate it because he gave me he did a forget how, I think it was 4 CD set. It was called Mirrors of Life, and it was Kim had gotten permission from all of the labels, and so it was all his Garth cuts. It was the Sammy Kerr, all of them,
Right.
all the Aaron, the Blue Angel, and all those things that you don't even know that he wrote. It was
His
just
versions
amazing that you could fill up 4 CDs and call it Mirrors of My Life.
CDs.
And he, and it was when we were in the thick of our friendship, and wasn't thinking of ever losing Kim, and so. One of my friends was a big fan of and so he had written on my thing, to Chip, one of the best singers that ever walked in, and it was like, and I gave it to my friend, because it did, I think I can get another one.
Wish she had it now, huh?
And man, I wish I had it.
Yeah, Kim has passed, so
I just miss Kim a lot.
Hey, we're going to be back next segment here talking about how Chip got to Nashville and the Baltimore Colts leaving town and life in West Virginia. I mean, we're going to cover it all.
Yes.
Chip Davis after this.
Well, it's always thirsty weather, wherever or whenever. Neither rain or ice or dark or night is gonna keep us from our rain. When it's hot, we need a cold one. When it's cold, we want a warm up. Yeah, Mother Nature is always in our favor, and right now it's thirsty weather. It's always.
Woohoo! Back with
We're
Chip
back.
Davis. Yes. So, Chipper, how'd you get here? What's your Nashville story?
Well, I actually came to Nashville the first time when I was 17. I had a duo with my sister. I was writing these really mushy, like Porter and Dolly duets that we were inappropriate.
I think you played us on the
inappropriate
bus.
for our age, inappropriate to be related singing them, inappropriate in every way. But I was born in West Virginia, so that made it. I'm kidding. I love my West Virginia family. No, I mean these were like really.
Mountain Mama.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It takes on a whole new meaning, don't it?
Ooh, boy.
Oh my, that was horrible.
It's not FCC covered, so we're good.
It was just like raised in the church. Like Dad, their denomination thought the Beatles were the Antichrist, so all the music was Southern gospel. There was the Rambos, the Happy Goodmans, and all that. But Mom loved Elvis and country music, and she would sneak Elvis in when Dad was at work. She would play "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" and
Oh my God!
"Oh, how much I need you, have pity on his heart," and she'd kind of like jitterbug.
Well, your dad's a pastor too, right?
Oh yeah, and as soon as Dad would,
Sneaking Elvis in.
she would take it. Don't. So we knew it was, and she would pull out his hand in mine. I can feel his hand, and put that on, and hide the other one. But so I was
That's
raised on
great.
all of that, and
I think there's a song in there somewhere.
I know.
but it was
Elvis and country music.
Yeah.
But she liked country music, and so she started buying Tammy Wynette albums, and in fifth grade, my fifth grade music teacher, she recognized my muse, and she knew I was going through some stuff, you know. But there was a lot of the religious abuse and all that really leaves more of an impact that you can imagine.
Sure.
But anyway, she always had a heart for me, and so she told me she was Irish, name was Miss Gander. She says, I'm gonna give you a Christmas present. I'm gonna let you join the Columbia Record Club. I got to pick out 10 albums, and one of them that I picked out was Porter and Dolly's Always Always, and so it became like a staple of my childhood. And Loretta Lynn's Greatest Hits and stuff that Dad would tolerate. And then later on, of course, I discovered WCAO and started listening to, you know, the Beatles and Motown and and I thought, my God, there's this whole other world that I didn't even, you know, I would be so tired for school the next day because I'd been up 3 o'clock listening to, you know, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or the one record that used to scare me because there was a lot of end times prophecy in our church at the time. They had like this chart, Revelation chart, and they had like after 1980 was a big question mark.
Sure, yeah.
Let me tell you something. When we rang in the new year of 81, we were some happy people. You know, y'all were wrong. You know, because they used to preach, I can't see it going past 1980, brother. It couldn't get any. Yeah, and you're sitting there as a kid thinking, well, crap, I was born in the wrong time.
That's right.
You know? But so that there was a ad in the paper that my mom knew what my dream was, and it was for auditions in Virginia for Bill Walker, who was Johnny Cash's musical director on the Johnny Cash show. He would always say, "Good night, Bill Walker." He was the conductor, and. Anyway, his wife was a prominent background vocalist at the time, Janine Walker. So we went down and auditioned, and they offered us. Of course, it was $2,500, which back in 1975 was a lot of money.
Sure.
And my mom went to one of the men in church and said, "This, would you give us this money?" And he did. And so I was 17 when I first came here, and we recorded in the old Columbia. The songs are so corny out, you know. I'll play them for you sometime.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because to think of this 17-year-old and 18-year-old brother and sister singing these passionate love songs that like I knew nothing about. Just listening to a lot of Porter and Dolly.
Sure.
I moved here when I was 18, stayed a year, and couldn't get arrested, and went back to Baltimore and got married, and then we came back, and I was playing clubs, and finally got an opportunity to roadie for Ronnie Millsap. Actually, my title was stage manager, which I had absolutely no business doing. You imagine me as a manager of anything, you know that.
Well, you can tell Ronnie what a great job you're doing, right?
Oh my gosh, that was a nightmare. Anyway, and then Barbara got pregnant and with our daughter, and I was
while you were here.
Yeah, while we were here, and I lost the gig with Millsap, and it was just like I was just so discouraged, and I thought, man, this is like your second attempt, you know, and you're 21 years old, and nobody is paying attention to, you know, and you don't think back on how young that was. I've often wondered if I had stayed, if you know how it would have changed, but I was very discouraged.
Sure.
You know, I was out on the road with.
How scary too, though. You just lost your job. You had a pregnant wife.
Yes.
You were 21 years old.
And it was
far away from home.
I lived in Honeybrook Apartments on Harding Place.
Yeah.
So
that's scary,
you know,
man. Yeah.
And it was so the way I found it. I was so excited because I loved the music from L.A. and we were actually going to do the Mike Douglas show. It was like 9:45. I get the call from the road manager, and he's like. And Ronnie said to tell you that you're not a roadie, you're a songwriter. Oh. And then it was like between me and you, Joyce's brother needs a job, and yours is the one he's getting. So it was like, you know, and I finally like the last album.
How cool though, because he was encouraging at the same time.
Yes, he was, because I had written a song called "The Best Things in My Life" that he almost cut.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. And that's how he, because the initial thing was he liked my playing on the demo, which was I'd cut it at a garage studio in Franklin before they were, really around.
Sure.
And Dickie Overby was his steel player and music manager. And so the guy that had brought me to town, my publisher, was like, man, Millsap's interested in maybe auditioning you for the road. So when I go to Groundstar Laboratories, and it's like this questionnaire, like, how many synths do you own? None. 0. Obviously wrote to pay attention. Can you program a Moog? No. Do you own a Fender Rhodes? No.
You're stage manager.
I'm already like, I was so overwhelmed by it. And then like the things like, so after I filled it out, I was like, I don't have any, equipment and all that. And he was like, it was really nice to meet you. And so then it was about 4 weeks after that they called me and said, hey, would you be interested in coming out and being, basically Ronnie's keyboard tech. And, but it was I wasn't cut out for that.
Well,
ain't nobody got time for that.
ain't nobody got time for that. Hey, we're going to take a break and we'll get the next chapter of this story. This is good stuff, Chipper.
Yeah, good stuff.
We'll be back.
There's no one else I need but me. My love was locked and you found the key. Girl, you drive me crazy, you do. I'm still tripping and falling for you.
Oh, we're having too much fun with Chip Davis. Yeah, I think the off-camera stuff is more fun.
Always.
Always. Yeah. Okay, so the Ronnie Millsap thing hasn't worked out.
So I moved back to Baltimore, and then I came back.
Is that when the Colts left town?
No.
Because I teased that story a couple weeks ago.
That's coming up.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Through Millsap's drummer, Steve Holt, who I've just reconnected with after all these years. We became really buddies. He came to Baltimore and visited me. He loved my music. He encouraged me as a writer. Anyway, he introduced me to Mark James. I had written a song for my mom for Mother's Day, and I played it for Steve. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you got it." He's like, "I got a friend, Mark James. He's got a studio." So I went and just Mark did us a favor, let us have the studio, and I did just a piano vocal of this song that I'd written for my mom. And Mark James heard it and got in touch with me. He's like, man, this song's powerful. And, I knew him from Suspicious Minds. And I'm thinking, I can't even believe he's calling, So we wound up doing, we got an investor from Steve, found an investor, and we did a project. This was like around 83, 84. But nothing ever came of it. But it just further put that thing in me that I needed to be here. Mm-hmm. And then I met Jack Brumley, and he heard a song that I'd written called Mama's Roses. And so he paid for us to come and do these 3 demos at Omni. Vic Clay produced it with me and my sisters. Mm-hmm. And we were back in the day, we were just like one voice.
Was that the Davis family?
It was actually the group wound up being called Paradise.
Paradise.
And we were the second group that Daywin signed.
Really?
They had the Cumberland Boys and they had Paradise.
Wow.
And Mama's Roses, it didn't do, it got up in the 50s for us, but dude, it was one of those songs that people loved it so much. I'll never forget, this has been 20 years ago at Hilltop, and I was just singing background vocals on a random artist, as you do. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, he's like, so what were you raised on? And I was like, well, that. And I said, I had a gospel group with my sisters. and he was from Kentucky, and the song was #1 at the station in Kentucky because I went and did an interview.
Sure,
it was called. It was the station was WJCR, which stood for Where Jesus Christ Reigns. WJCR.
Wow.
But the record was #1 there, and so we drove from Baltimore to up to Kentucky
Hey, but it worked. You got the whole song at that station.
But anyway, you know, like you're sitting there, you're so tired and talking about how I wrote the song and all that. But nothing ever, you know, they didn't. The guy that signed us to Day One, he passed away suddenly, and he had signed us. He was kind of our advocate, and so nothing was going on. And I will say, Dottie Leonard, who owns that company, was so gracious because I had signed my publishing, and whenever Ronnie passed away, I sent her a letter, and I was like, you know, we didn't get to do anything that we're supposed to do. I just think the only fair thing to do is, you know, and she actually, within 2 weeks, I had like a certified letter that she had returned everything back. Which I think, you know, and she became very, she's the biggest label and in gospel music now with New Day distributorship and all that. And,
well, you
but
don't
it was
hear
because
many
of that
stories
kind
like
of
that.
It was because of that kind of heart and not trying to take advantage of somebody.
Absolutely.
So I've always respected her.
Yeah,
for
usually
that.
when they get a hold of that.
Yes, they don't. And there were, you know, and Mama's Roses turned out to be a pretty, but I was back to the Hilltop Story. This guy's like, he's like, I like obscure stuff. He's like one of my favorite songs is, it's by this group called Paradise. And I'm like, and then he was like, when we lost my grandmother, he said it reminded me so much. And he said, there's a song called My Mama's Roses.
Oh, man. And you
I
start
was like,
singing it for him, right?
I'm there thinking, there is no freaking way that he knows this
is a
song.
joke. This is a joke.
And he started like, he's like, yeah, My Mama's Roses. I was like,
and you sing the next line, right?
That was me and my sisters. And then he was like looking like I had no way. I was like, yeah. I said, Paradise was. It was I said I actually wrote that song for my dad for, you know, Father's Day. It was a true story. But when I sang, I wrote the song in 82, I think, and I sang at my aunt's funeral. Remember last September, my aunt Loretta passed because you met her. Mm-hmm. And she always told me that, you know, I had to sing at her funeral. But at the graveside, they sing at the graveside in West Virginia. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a real Appalachian funeral, but it's... We could have another show about that. Sure. But anyway, they sing at the graveside. Like, they open the casket up, and then the pastor's like, he sang a song, and then Kathy's like, you know, would you sing Mama's Roses? So here I'm a cappella, you know, I remember well that old cabin in the hollow. But when I got to the chorus, there was like probably 40 people there at the graveside, and it's like this choir. Whoa. They all knew. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But he's been back there. Greg's been back where I'm from and knows how. But it's you know, it just shows the power of a song.
Shoot, yeah.
But so that after that, I moved.
Wouldn't it be cool, Monty?
I moved here in '92, and I made the commitment that I was going to stay. And I was playing with a group called Texana at Opryland Hotel 5 nights a week for the Gray Line tours.
Texana.
Barbie Isham, she wound up writing Never Again for Liam Womack.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was thinking Dixiana too.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, this was Texana. They were
or Texas, which became Lone Star. That's the worst name ever.
From Terrell, Texas.
Terrell, Texas.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a good thing for me because I was able, even though I was like started out making $50 a night, you know, back in '92, that was okay.
Yeah.
Billy and I were splitting the place, and within Ken had a home studio, which introduced me to a lot of, you know, clients and things. And then within the next couple of years, I was making my living. It's so funny because, you know, Wes got to retire from
Hightower.
Yeah. I had actually bought an RX-7, and he was still doing window tint. We kind of moved in the same year. Eric Blankenship moved here and used to write with Eric and do, you know, sing background things on him, and now he's got all access.
All access to the coast, yeah. Well, let's talk about a day in the life of Chip Davis back in the '90s when we come back after this. When we come back after this,
okay,
because we got
all right.
You know, we
have
got
to
to
take
have
a
our
station break.
sponsors, man.
Pay the bills.
Bulletproof energy drink.
What happened?
We got to talk about them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
jeez. Oh, hey. I was supposed to do something. I should have had a bulletproof energy drink. I'd be wide awake and ready to tell you all about bulletproof energy drinks. These guys right here, not only will it pick you up, get you popping, but they give 5 cents of every can to support our American military veterans. So, I mean, that's a win-win all the way around. Bulletproof energy drinks. Get you some.
Oh,
Hello, man.
You gotta fill them in when we come back.
okay.
We come back laughing. You got to tell that. We can bleep too. So if you need to say it.
I was writing a lot with Kim and Doug, Kim Williams and Doug Johnson back when I was
Doug,
doing,
who's producer, and
Yes.
he runs Black River now, right?
Yes,
But
Black
he
River
has
Entertainment,
done-
and has written "Living in a Moment You Could Die For."
produced Tyrant. He did all those Tyrant singles off that
yes.
he wrote. Yeah, that's funny.
And he
how that
produced
works,
Pine
huh?
Box with
And you produce, and all your songs become.
I'd be better
singles.
off in a Pine Box. He produced, which is one of my favorite records, country records of all time. But they were at the awards, and they gave it was a writers award. And they said Song of the Year is Three Wooden Crosses, and Randy hadn't been really in the
Randy Travis.
Yes,
And Song of the Year is for the writers.
Right, so, right. And so
Yeah.
anyway, Randy ran up on stage and took the award. Kim and Doug were up in the balcony, and Kim leaned over to Doug and said, "It was a Christian show. It may have been the Doves, or whatever it was, but anyway, he leaned over to Doug and said the." Blankety Christians have stolen our Blankety Award. And so they wound up going to the Palm later on that night, and they said that Charlie Daniels sent them over a bottle of champagne or something to congratulate him for the Song of the Year. And as he went by, they were thanking him, and Kim told him kind of the same story.
Yeah.
And they said Kim said that, Charlie said, "God save us all from religion,"
Which is
and then they
awesome.
wrote. Maybe I'll just sing that one since
Yeah,
it's not something
that's
I
on
wrote,
your
but-
album too, right?
Yes, it's on my album.
Chip has an album. It's all available on iTunes, all
Yes.
that stuff, right? And there's a song on it that he didn't write, but he sang it like he wrote it. And it was written by
There were
Charlie
two songs
Daniels.
on there I didn't write, and they were both Kim and Doug songs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was "If You Were God" was the other one that they wrote. That was
I thought you wrote that one too.
no,
Okay.
that's that.
But God Save Us All from Religion is great.
Yes, it
It's
is.
great.
It's a
And
good
you sing the fire out of it. You sing the religion out of it, man.
We'll try. We try. Oh, God.
Okay, so real quick, I know these segments seem like they're too short because there's so much. It's we're encapsulating.
And I'm so old. I have so many
we're encapsulating
stories. Like I can't.
your life in like 40 minutes.
Yes.
Here. But in the 90s, when the studios around here were hopping, we were all doing 10s and 2s and 6s
Yes.
and stuff. Chip sang on so many background vocal sessions. I mean, he was the voice.
It was unfortunately demos and not masters. So.
Well, you had your fair share of masters
I did
too.
some masters, but back there were days.
Just go from your morning coffee.
I think yes.
Had your coffee. Now what are you doing?
I would go do a 10 o'clock or 10-ish, which kind of followed me around. But I never was a clock person. 10-ish. And I was like, yeah. But anyway, I would go. I would work for Stephanie Smith.
It's Your Love.
Yes, and I would do 5.
Johnny and June.
I'd do 3 or 4 songs for her because it was usually a 5-song session.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the publishing thing was. You have 3 hours, you got 5 songs. That's what the publishers wanted. I would leave County Q and maybe go to Sound Kitchen for a 2 o'clock, and it would be for Marv Green or Marty Dodson or
Marv Green. I haven't heard that name for a while.
Or whom?
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I sang the original. Bill Luther sang the lead on Amazed, and I did the background vocals on Amazed on the original. It's an awesome version. And Bill Luther's a great singer.
I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
Amy Mayo, I was working a lot for Amy and Chris Lindsay back then, and they had just come off of Amazed, had been huge.
Right.
And Amy, my nickname with Amy was, she said, I thought the perfect nickname for you, Commodores in a Box.
Commodores in a box.
So, you know,
Short and sweet.
but she was from Alabama. She loved the Commodores,
Right.
And she couldn't believe that like one person could sing all those parts,
right.
So she's
Commodores
like, "You're
in
like
a box.
Commodores in
I
a
love
box." I swear, I came so close to having a T-shirt.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then someone else told me I should be called the Wizard of Oz, AHHS.
Oh, the Wizard.
And I've always thought that would be a great T-shirt.
I love that.
So,
I love that.
But you know, I think the most songs that I did in one day was 24.
Phew.
Singing.
And yes,
And that's
singing
pretty
backing
much
vocals.
walking in. You're not familiar with the
you've
song.
never heard them,
You've
but
never
you know
heard
what?
it.
Thank God for that number system that finally clicked.
Right.
Because when I first moved here, it was math, and I had a disease with math. I still do. I mean, I can add and subtract. and
Monty's
do
still
simple
fighting that, too.
fractions, but like I remember being in algebra 2 and thinking, what in the hell are they talking
What are
about?
these letters
Because,
in here for?
like all these, and I finally went to my guidance counselor in 10th grade, and I was like, look, I have no idea what Miss Hoffman is talking about. I'm wasting my time. I don't want to fail.
And here you are reading a Nashville number system.
And
chart.
so yeah, but it took me forever because I was afraid of it because it was numbers. But
Right.
once it clicked, oh my
Sure.
God! So you could go in and you know, I'll never forget the song that I learned it on was "Take It to the Limit" with the Eagles.
Oh, sure.
And it was like 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Sure, yeah,
2,
and it
3,
all
2,
starts to
1.
explain.
And I started doing like that was until it became second nature. So as soon as they would do it, I could you know, I would jot down the melody, and then I.
You know what, though?
knew
I mean,
that.
I have so much respect for your ability to, because I mean, you know, back in the day, I was on the other side of it. It was,
The musician
you know,
thing,
guitar,
yeah.
but that's because, and they left a lot up to you. Whereas the background singer, you're married pretty much to
Yeah.
what that lead vocalist did.
Yes.
And you got to walk in there and.
Yes.
So they've charted the lead vocalist, what they've done.
No, I
Just
would
the
chart it.
notes,
I
yeah.
would chart it.
You charted.
Yeah, I would as soon as I would learn because it was easier to chart the melody and then just I would know what the parts would be.
Sure.
Our producers
Yeah.
waving your
Oh,
hand.
darn it, man. With the time just flies by so
I just
quick.
want to just interject this one thing because I think I'm at about the 5th grade level on the charts thing right now, and that's on bass. Okay, one string at a time. I'm getting there. I haven't advanced into
I'm telling you,
pre-algebra or
I'm telling
something
you,
yet.
dude, if you'll find songs that you like and don't say the words, say the numbers.
You're doing this with your voice.
It'll make
Yeah.
sense.
I can look and I can see and I can picture my fingers on the fret, but you're doing that with your voice.
No.
And
He doesn't have relative pitch either. He has perfect pitch. Like say, sing a G.
Oh, I did
Guys, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
You just did. You're pretty dang close.
I get close. I'm more relative, but you and so
It's actually
and then-
called piano pitch because, you know, there's no real standard. It's called piano pitch because, like, in the United States, we are A440.
right.
In Italy, they're A444.
Piano
which is like half a step or
like
so higher than us. And then there's some places where it's like there's such a difference that American opera singers have to say, I want 440 because it's, you know,
Sure.
it's higher.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know Van Halen tunes down a half step and
Yes.
Guns N' Roses and all that. That's all I need.
Yeah,
a mind of
K-pose
a
the convention.
job.
You know, it's so weird when you have that pitch thing and like I watch guitar players with K-pose and I'm seeing the fingering, but it's not the chord. It's
Right,
like,
right.
How do they do
Yeah.
that?
So you know, I worked with a piano player also that would not hit the
Transpose? Because you
You're the
can't.
same way,
Yes,
right?
you
Because it's
can't.
like that's the problem.
If you-
when you have that tight of an ear,
Yes.
you can't fool yourself. When you're playing that C chord, it's like that's
and
a
it's
dang
B,
C.
and it's like,
Exactly.
oh my God,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Chips is going to sing a song for us today. But I think we need at least one more segment.
One
just
more.
yakking.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more.
yak
Great
segment,
stuff.
and then we'll get to this.
Stay with us. Love it.
Cause my party, it could be so much fun. If only you just say you'll come. If here is where you long to be, come as you were before you stop loving me. I swear.
Davis, back with him again. Right. And I forgot what we were talking about. We got off on this talking about
we're
our
talking about
song.
back in the Davis sessions. And,
But first, we were talking about our song.
Yes,
it's a bad
Jesus Save Me.
It's a bad.
It's a duet. And
you killed it.
Kimo, even though I was a co-writer on it and did a demo myself, his version,
our version,
because he let me do a duet with him on it. But it's become like everybody's favorite. Like they go, this is the cut of it. So
it's good, man.
You did a great job on it.
Thanks, buddy. As did you.
Thank you.
You brought it home. You brought, it was just.
I love when you shout.
That was like, from it too. I was, when I was doing it, it's like,
it's those real moments.
Yeah. And so I said, I'm keeping that.
Yes.
I'm keeping that. Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right, man. Let's get back to it. What were we talking about?
We're talking about sessions and how many we did back in the day and how it's all changed.
Right. Yeah.
And
you're using the charts.
Right.
Learning the number system, which was what allowed me to learn to be that fast and efficient.
That was your 2 o'clock, and then from there you went.
And I would go to dinner, and I would have a 6 o'clock at Station West.
Yeah.
And and sometimes I would have a 10, like the session with Kim at County Q was at 10 o'clock. And we started doing leads and background vocals on 5 songs at 10 o'clock. That is a full.
You know what? Those were.
But it sharpened and it taught and it refined and I learned so much about writing, and I became personal friends with Danny and wrote with Danny, and I've written with Marty, and I got to write with Kim. So
what's interesting too about that whole time, Chip, is if you think about it, that was the best. Songs were being
it's like,
because everybody it was the best playing, the best songwriting, the best performances were all in that era because everybody was working, everybody was making money,
and you don't realize it in the moment, like when I did While You Love Me, like that was going to be a big record for Rascal Flatts. I did know, like going back to County Q with Mark when he and Tia wrote I Hope You Dance, and I did the background vocals on that at County Q, and I just remember standing there thinking, this is going to change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Whoever, as writers, I knew, because Mark and Tia had nothing to prove because they had already had success, but not on that massive scale. No one could have predicted that. Yeah. And Leanne Womack had put her on, in a whole different.
And I still look at that. Yes, the 70s were great for country. Yes, the 80s had something. But that era, right before,
was wonderful.
It was great. It was, and there was so much, and I mean, there was so people could actually make a living. Didn't they say since that time now that 80% of the songwriters
so it's over now, like it's over
have had to leave town and get real jobs?
And you can't.
It's terrible.
And then when you listen to some of the things that, and it's not, and you get on the bandwagon to bash. I don't listen to country music. I listen to some of the older country music.
Sure.
And some of the songs, but. It's nothing. It's not appealing. To me on an intellectual level or an artistic level any longer.
I've kind of been brought back. My son, who's now he just started MTSU, he's beginning his career in
I saw that.
Awesome. And bless his heart, I'm so excited for him. But he has exposed me to. There's been some hope in this.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I mean, he'll send me a thing. Hey, Dad, check out this song, and it's like I'm going. You know what? That's a pretty darn good song.
My son always wanted to be like an A&R guy. His dream was to be, and he did the music thing at MTSU for 2 years, and then wound up getting a degree in something else. But he told me about the Abbott Brothers, Kings of Leon, back before they were, And I remember hearing the Abbott Brothers, however you say it. They're from North Carolina. That was more country music than anything I was hearing coming out of here.
Right.
It's like this is real. This is country music.
Yeah.
Because to me, country music is real, and it touches some part of you to either celebrate or mourn or whatever. But it touches you, and that's if songs don't do that. If they don't make you chill and they don't make you cry and they don't make you laugh and they don't bring you joy and exuberance, then
that old 4 on the floor beat, that gets everybody going now. It's like, that's you gotta have more. You gotta give me more.
Remember that last show where that that was almost got rained out. But who was that kid that was on? And the bass was like the buses were like it was rattling the.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of who that was, but oh
Swindle.
my God, Cole.
Swindle.
It was seriously the buses were. Like it was uncomfortable to be on because the bass was
And they were
crazy.
they were efficient cabinets. I mean, it was just that they had them cranked so much, and it was just
crazy.
woo-wee.
Bass drops.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like wait a minute, every minute.
Oh, we sound like a bunch of old geezers now.
But
It was
I
so
mean,
much better
Those
back
are the
in
bass
our
drops
day.
that movements that were so big.
Right? Yeah. No, but I do see hope because it seems like when just like in anything, in the most evil times, the righteous shine.
Yes.
You have the whole mediocrity down here, the great songs really come out and they slap you in the face.
The wrong shall fail, the right prevail.
That's right.
Peace on earth.
Right. So
goodwill to men.
we're right there, man. It's gonna happen. I feel it. Because there is some exciting stuff going on that you might not hear on your radio.
Right.
But I mean, there's still what we would consider solid stuff still being made.
Well, like your all's album. Like, why not? Why couldn't it be on radio?
Yeah.
It could.
Well, we
and some of Ark and stuff.
We actually found out this week that our singles number 64.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, it's scratching and clawing for every little bit you can get. That's why 64. Yeah, when those folks downtown, they only got 64. Man, what a total failure.
There was the guitar player.
Fire everybody.
The guitar player in the Heat and the Cold Sweat Horns, which was a band I was in Baltimore. He sent me after I moved to Nashville for a while. He sent me a card and it had a cat like on a tree and it said, "You finally clawed your way to the top."
Knuckles.
Well, shoot, we are going to have to get you back for another one.
Yes.
There's too much to tell. We didn't even get to the Baltimore
We didn't
Colts
get to the
leaving
Baltimore
town.
Colts.
Oh,
He saw him pulling out of town.
I was
man.
right there, and I still hate him.
So when we come back, you're going to hear that velvet throat right there rendering for us. We're excited. Chip Davis singing when we come back.
Yes.
Pick this up today, right now. Go online. I mean, right now. Don't waste your time. Just go right now. Order Jeff Cook. Got you covered. This is volume 1, by the way.
Volume 1.
But wait. And this is the man right there.
Send in twice as much money, we'll give you 2 CDs.
HeartlandRecords.net.
Heartland Records. Yeah. Brian. Hey, Brian. You can't say we're not working it, man. We're working it.
Take me back home where the Red River rolls, send me back to Louisiana. Take me back down where the white water flows to the Cajun promised land.
Here's the part I've been waiting for. What you gonna sing for us, Chipper?
I'm going to sing a song that I wrote when I was like 17, and one of the first serious songs that I wrote, and it's always been a favorite of my family's. And they had asked me, I think it was around 2001 or 2, I did a demo of it for them because I had never demoed it. It was just something that I used to sing at the house in Baltimore, and people have like, all these years later, have suddenly just rediscovered this demo, and it's kind of taken on. So I'll do this for my family because they're going to watch this. It's called "You're Still Gone."
You're still gone.
And Kimo is graciously going to do a little accompaniment
I'm
for
gonna do
me.
something.
It was a cold, lonely morning in the rain. I must have thought that it could wash away the pain, but all it did was ruin the shoes that I had on, and you're still gone. I got a book and read through chapter 2, trying hard to keep my thoughts away from you, but the plot was too familiar, much too strong, and you're still gone. So I thought that I would write a melody, 'cause music
music always sets my spirit free. I rolled all night and came up with this song, but you're still gone. I played solitaire to occupy my mind, hoping somehow thoughts of you would fall behind. But the Queen of Hearts just laughed and said you're wrong, 'cause you're still gone. I could fall asleep and hold you in my dreams. I could plan 1,000 ways, 1,000 schemes. And when I woke up, I would still be holding on, but you're still gone. So I thought that I would write a melody, 'cause music always sets my spirit free. I rolled all night and came up with this song, but you're still gone. It was a cold, lonely morning in the rain. I must have thought it could wash away the pain, but all it did was ruin the shoes that I had on, and you're still gone. You're still gone.
Chip Davis! Yeah, brother, that was great, man. Oh, yeah. Woo! Almost like we rehearsed it. You know it sounds funny, but I just gotta get to that Cash Creek Club. It's the first Wednesday of every month. We got Larry Stewart coming up in September. Yeah. Ooh. It's at the Music City Bar and Grill, Music Valley Drive. I can't remember the address, but we're gonna be. What are we gonna be? We're not gonna be cheesy. We're not gonna be sleazy. We're not gonna be easy. We might be greasy. Oh, it's greasy with T. Because when T was there, it was teasy and it was greasy. Greasy like Wednesday evening. Cash Creek Club. That's it. That's all we got. Monty, what's going on tomorrow?
Man, we got to get out of here. We got stuff to do.
Woo-hoo.
Got the Cash Creek Club number 2. Larry Stewart, man. Oh, can't wait. I cannot wait.
Fun.
I cannot wait.
And we've got also on the bill Jody Medford.
That's right. Medford.
Angela Oliver, who was a guest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, killed it.
You guys get to see her live. The Rollers. And James Phillip, again, MCing duties. Gosh, my eyes.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be fun
be a
again.
great show.
I can't wait. I
be a
cannot
great show.
wait to hear that voice come back through those wedges singing Blues Eyes in Texas.
You just stand next to him and play those songs, the Restless Heart songs we grew up on and worked so hard to learn.
Yeah. We'll also have the live version of Uncle Nemo.
Oh my gosh, that's
even
right.
better than Larry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mai. Oh man, that one we had with RT.
Oh boy,
that was hilarious. That whole one was funny. That was just last week, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I lost track.
Yeah, the old time travel thing.
Good stuff, man.
But folks, be there tomorrow night. Gosh, make your plans. Come down.
Music City Bar and Grill, Music Valley.
Guys, surprise your girl with a night out on the town with some up close and intimate country music. From
Good music, man.
One
Good
of the
stuff.
finest voices in country music. Not us. Larry Stewart. So, yeah, we'd love to see you there. Act like you know us.
Yeah. We may not return the favor, but it's all right.
We'll say, yeah, get away. I got time for you, peasant.
Got time for that? No, you know that's not true.
You know us.
You know that's not true. Oh, yep. Come on out, man. It's gonna be good.
Yep. Cheers.
Hope we don't suck.
It won't suck. Bye, y'all.
Let's go.